Okay, how's everybody doing this evening? Of course, my name is Kent. The channel is EOS San Diego. And I want to start off tonight by watching a little bit of Bitcoin. I watched a little bit of Bitcoin this afternoon, and it was over $12,000 for a little bit of time, which is kind of a point of resistance sometimes for Bitcoins drop back down below 12,000. But I see Bitcoin right now as an enormous opportunity. I mean, I think the opportunity to own one Bitcoin right now for $12,000 is probably not going to be around very much longer. If it clears 12,000, stays above 12,000 for a while, I think it's going to go much, much, much higher. I'll tell you why in a second. And obviously, if it goes over 12,000, it hasn't been that high for quite some time. And of course, before that time, you know, it was up close to $20,000. So it's not even close to all-time highs right now. And everything else is at about all-time highs. Stock market's all-time highs. Gold is, of course, all-time highs. And of course, Bitcoin still has a ways to go before it's at the all-time high. So I think the chance to buy a Bitcoin, own a whole Bitcoin, which I think very few people own one Bitcoin right now, I think that opportunity is going and going fast. So if you want to own a Bitcoin, an entire Bitcoin, not a Satoshi, but an entire Bitcoin, or, you know, something close to an entire Bitcoin, this would be a good time to jump in because I think prices are going to go much higher. And I'll tell you why I think prices are going to go much higher. There is no way that anybody can look at a chart right now and give you any indicator of what's going to happen in the future based on previous history as far as where Bitcoin's been as far as price is concerned. And the reason why I would say that the charts right now aren't of much value is because there's no way to compare economically what's happening in the world today with what would happen 5 years ago, 10 years ago, or whenever a year ago with Bitcoin, simply because, you know, you have incredible strains and stresses in the world today as far as the pandemic that's taking place. Businesses are under enormous amounts of problems, enormous amounts of tensions taking place. People are looking for a safe harbor for stability, and I think Bitcoin offers that better than anything else. The other reason why I think Bitcoin's going to go much higher, because if you look at the fact that there's only 21 million Bitcoin ever mined, will be mined, or that are going to be mined. I don't know exactly how many have been mined so far, but there's only a total of 21 million ever that will be in existence. And that's set. That's a hard cap. There's nothing that can be changed about that. So we don't know how many Bitcoin have been lost. We know a lot of Bitcoin have been lost. We know there's a lot tied up in a Satoshi account. So there's a lot of these 21 million that aren't even available anymore, that either have been lost, the private key's been lost, or are held in accounts of people that have passed on, or that, you know, will never ever be able to be recovered. And that's an enormous amount of Bitcoin. So of that 21 million, there's not that many available to buy to begin with. The second thing we know is that, you know, if you compare Bitcoin, well, obviously with the stock market has to, in order to double, how many trillions of dollars is the market cap of the stock market? I don't even know how many trillions of dollars, but for the stock market to double from where it's at right now would be literally, you know, an incredible amount of money that would never ever happen. Wouldn't happen. Stock market wouldn't double. Gold right now is at an all-time high. Gold has a market cap of about $9 trillion. So for gold to double from 2,000 to 4,000, you would have to go from 9 trillion to 18 trillion. Not very likely to happen. That's a lot of money. Bitcoin is sitting right now at around, I think it's around 290 billion. And don't quote me on that because I'm not real sure. But for it to go from 200 billion, 280, 290, 250 billion, wherever it's at, to 500 billion would be pretty easy to do. So Bitcoin only has to double, you know, by going from a 200 billion to a 500 billion, to double, to go from 12,000 to 24,000. Stock market would be incredible amounts of money, and gold would have to go to over 18 trillion. So which one do you think is going to happen quicker? Gold, the stock market, or Bitcoin? especially given Bitcoin's limited amount of availability and the historic times that we're in, where the inflation rate's going to be incredibly high in the very near future. Incredibly high. You're going to have inflation rates off the chart. So people are going to look for stable places to protect their money from inflation. And I think Bitcoin's going to be a true safe haven, safe place for people to put money. And I think you're going to see the Bitcoin price go up enormously. So I think if you're thinking about buying Bitcoin, this would be a pretty good time to buy Bitcoin. I'm looking for Bitcoin to hit all-time highs very quickly, and probably I'm looking for Bitcoin in the $50,000 to $100,000 range here very soon. So it would be an ideal time to pick up a few Bitcoin right now. And everything else too, as well as that's concerned. For the first time, quite some time, I've seen my compound come back too and make some money. So DeFi is on the rise, Bitcoin's on the rise, altcoins are on the rise. There's a lot of things going on. Ethereum is on the rise. And really looking at Ethereum, I mean, they got a lot of stuff coming on in the future that has to work. And as I talked the other night, for Ethereum to be able to work as envisioned with the new number of transactions that it needs to have in order to run DeFi and some of the other ideas that are manifesting themselves on Ethereum. There's a lot of stuff got to take place. So, I think they're all good plays right now. I think Ethereum, I think Bitcoin, I think all the DeFi stuff. I think it's all good stuff. It's all going to go much higher, including our token, the Challenge token. In fact, we have a bounty out right now on Challenge. If you can get Challenge listed on the Exodus wallet, we'll give you 100 EOS. I think if you go to the Challenge application, we have that as one of the challenges that we have. I think my son issued the challenge. So if you want to, we will have 100 EOS bounty, which EOS is trading over $300 right now. So a $300 bounty for anyone that can get us listed on the Exodus wallet. So if you can get us listed on the Exodus wallet, you're going to get 100 EOS right off the bat. And that's the thing about the challenge application, is it gives you the opportunity to throw tasks out there for people to do and then earn a reward for that. And like I said, we have 100 EOS on the line right now for anybody that wants to do that. So, as well as a number of other things. So if you want to check it out, simply go to the App Store or go to Google Play. You can find Challenge, CHALLENGE, EOS in the App Store, the Google Play. We also are coming out with video. So right now people are posting challenges, tax challenges, geo challenges, and we're also going to start adding video too. So that should be up very, very soon, as well as we have a spinning wheel if you want to win tokens, hold tokens. We're also talking about adding some possible ways of doing DeFi on Challenge too. So if you're into DeFi, and I think DeFi is definitely a growth area, big area, we're going to incorporate some DeFi into Challenge too. So I think there's a lot of things going on with the Challenge token. And given the fact that we're trading at hundredths of a penny, I think there's really big opportunities. Like I said earlier with gold, is gold going to double and go to 18 trillion? Is the stock market going to go to hundreds and hundreds of trillions? Or is Bitcoin going to go to 500 billion? I mean, trillions versus billions, that's a big difference. Like with our token, hundreds of penny, I mean, just go to a tenth of a penny, or a penny would be an enormous appreciation, which is what you can see with the crypto markets. That's the way people have made a lot of money. When you have times like we have now, when things are really starting to happen, you can have incredible leverage. The other thing I would like to talk about before I end this video is, please, by all means, do not get leveraged in this market. When you see these big drops in Bitcoin like we saw here not too long ago, I think it was $1,000 drop in one day, what they're literally doing is they're wiping out positions. So if you're over leveraged, overextended, and the Bitcoin price drops, It's usually because you're getting your account liquidated. So if there's people out there with a lot of Bitcoin that can take positions that they profit from when they're able to drop the price and wipe out other positions. It's there's a way of doing that, and you don't want to get involved in it. I could explain the whole process of how it works, how people take positions. They short positions in order to make money, and they can also not only short a position, they can take a position to actually ensure their position that they short. So, but it's very complicated. It can get very difficult. And if you're playing that game thinking, well, Bitcoin's going to 20,000 here very soon, I better dive in and I better leverage myself. And you can leverage up to 90%. You start doing those kinds of things, you're looking to get burned, and you're going to get burned very, very hard. So if you want the Bitcoin price to continue to increase, and you want the thing to go up and not come back down, or you want it to go up and you're into Bitcoin like so many people are, don't overextend yourself. Don't give those other people with a lot of Bitcoin an opportunity to wipe you out of your position. That's what happens when we see these big drops. Don't let them wipe you out of position. Do not get over leveraged. There's going to be enough action in this market that you don't need to take risks like that. It's unnecessary. It's unneeded. You're going to make money in enough time as it is by just holding your position and not having any kind of a leverage position. Just hold your position. You'll do very, very well. Do not over leverage, and do not get involved with complicated situations where you're margining your accounts. You're using small amounts to buy more amounts, bigger amounts, whatever. Don't do that. That's not a very smart play or a smart move. It's going to be happening on its own fast enough. The other thing too, if you do happen to catch one of those markets and make some pretty good money, it's very hard not to do it again, thinking that you know what's going on. But it's easy to give the money back very quickly too. Like someone told me one time when I was in Las Vegas years and years ago, they don't build those places on winners, they build them on losers. And that's the way it is when you start playing these margin games. You don't make fortunes. In fact, I've never known anybody that has created a fortune by overextending themselves by playing either the stock game or the crypto game. It's very difficult to do, and generally those people are high risk people, and they end up giving it back anyway. So stay stable, don't overextend, don't put yourself in a position of vulnerability. You do not want to give up your Bitcoin, especially in times like this, because it's going to be very valuable. I believe people that own Bitcoin, a couple Bitcoin, in a few years, they're going to have enough money to retire on. So why would you gamble that away? So be safe and don't do that. I appreciate you watching. Thank you very much.